So the next step is to add our charts. We have our information, our data looks good, we've got it organized in a nice little chart for people to read, we've got a title and our name. Now we need to add two charts to it. So when I come back to my directions sheet, and this loads up again, I can take a look over here. I've got my information done. I've got my directions. When we come over here, we've already centered our numbers. We've made our boxes larger to fit. We put boxes around it. We've changed the font color and size. Now we're going to work on the last three. So we're going to create a chart. We're going to color the chart. We're going to add three titles, and we're going to add data labels. We have to have a chart title, horizontal title, and vertical title. So when we get done, I even gave you a picture about what it is going to look like. So we have a chart title up top, we have a horizontal on the bottom, we have a vertical title on the side, and then we've got our information. The data labels are where the bars are. So we can tell exactly that this is 10, we don't have a guess, this is 4, this is 1. Without those numbers, we might not know exactly how many people chose those sports. Now when we do this, our data labels are right here on the actual pie chart. The only problem is the words aren't, so we have to find green and know that that's basketball. So I'm going to go back over here, and this is what you do. Most important part is the boxes that you choose will make the chart. So we have to select our data over here and only our data. Make sure that again you're not selecting other boxes over here, or make sure that you're not choosing a box over here when we go to insert down to chart. If we choose a box over here and we go insert to chart, you will notice that it's going to give you a blank chart with no data. See that? To get rid of it, we're just going to press delete. We don't want that. What we want to do is we want it to make a chart with the data that we select. So don't choose extra cells, only choose your data. Then you'll go to insert and you will choose chart. Now when we choose a chart, this is just like a picture in other programs we've done. We can grab it, we can move it around, we can grab the corners, we can make it smaller, we can make it bigger. Notice that if you make it too small, you can't read the words at the bottom. So please don't make it too small. Okay? So when I go here, here's my chart. It doesn't have a title, it doesn't have a vertical and horizontal title, and it doesn't have our numbers. It also hasn't been colored. So you'll follow my mouse over here. Now, this is one chart that we want, and so here's the column chart. If we wanted a pie chart, we will then change it into a pie chart, but then our bar chart is gone. So right now we're going to choose on just the bar chart. You could choose the sideways chart if you would like. It doesn't matter. Just do me a favor and don't choose any of these charts down here. You're going to choose between these three. So once you have this, the rest of this information where you have data and you have customize. Data, customize. We want to customize it. Now, we want to customize it with some titles. So when we click on the titles, it says chart title. It says chart title and there's nothing there. The title for the chart is our, favorite sports. Now when I get done here, notice how it puts it automatically right there. If I want it in the center, I can move it in the center by choosing the information here. If I want to change the color and I want to make it a dark blue, I can right here. If I want to change the font, I can do all of this right here while I'm choosing the chart title. Now look carefully. This is where they have a drop-down menu. We have two more titles to do. So we come down here to horizontal. When we click on horizontal, we don't have one. The horizontal is the flat one. What would we call these things? I'd call them sports. So I write down sports, and in 2 seconds it's there. Again, the same thing. Do I want to color it? Do I want to change the font? Do I want to go make the size bigger? Okay, notice if I make it bigger, my chart gets smaller. So I'm going to bring this back down to a little bit smaller. I'm then going to go back again to this drop down. And I'm done with horizontal, I'm done with chart title, I'm then going to go to vertical. When I go to vertical, what are the numbers over on the side? These are the number of people that like the sport. So I'm going to go hashtag, which means number. Number of people. Okay? Now you could say that liked the sport. So it could be a little bit bigger like that. Okay? Those are your 3 titles you have to have. Now, if you notice the drop down, there is a 4th title called the chart subtitle. If you wanted a subtitle, the subtitle would be by, and it would be your name. Okay? When you do this, you notice that it's there. Well, it's there because I centered the title, and I could center this. Okay, again, I could change the name, the font, the color, the size. So you can make it look like that. I added 4. You need the horizontal, the vertical, and the chart title. You get it by going to chart and axis titles and finding the hidden drop down. That is one of the biggest things kids forget because they don't see the drop down. Now when you go do the numbers are right over here in the series. When you go to series, there is a box that says data labels. When you do this, you're done with this chart. Okay? Now if you wanted to, you could go up to chart title and you can say background color orange. You could choose a background color. Again, just make sure that you can read the words. You could actually click on the words right here, go down and say I'd like these words to be dark blue. You could click on the numbers on the side. Do the same thing. You can change the font, the colors, the size. You can click on anything in here and change it. Now that I have one chart done with my 3 titles, my data labels, and I've changed the color, we're now going to go in and do the pie chart. Now the pie chart's just a little different. We have to select our data labels, or we have to select our data again. We have to go over to insert. We have to go back to chart. But in this case, we're going to go back to our data, and it gave us a bar chart, so this time we actually have to choose the pie chart. You're going to notice that my bar chart is down below it, or behind it. My pie chart is here. So when I go to my pie chart, we're going to go back over to customize. We're going to go to the style. So you can again choose your background color if you would like. You can again change your font to a font that you like for these words on the outside. If you'd like, you can also 3D it, which will turn it sideways. Okay. You can then go down, I'll leave mine 3D. You can then go down to pie chart and you can say a donut hole. Well, would you like a 25% donut hole? Would you like a 50%, or would you like a 75? So it's okay to do a little donut hole if you would like. You don't have to. Okay. You can even go over after you've chose this. You can have a slice label. So do you want to label the slices? Like this one says golf and it goes over here to blue. You can go to the label and it will try to fit it in the bigger ones. You're going to notice the smaller ones do not have a label. Okay. You can even go down to a value. The value in this case tells us exactly how many people voted this way. And you notice over here, this is not how many, it is the percentage of the pie. So the value to me is really important, knowing exactly how many people voted, even though I do know the percentage. So choose the value right there. Don't choose the label. The label's kind of nice, but we'd rather know the value right there. You notice the other one is percentage. Well, that's the same as sitting over here. And the other one at the bottom is value and percentage, and you can see we run out of room. So the value is right there in the section called pie chart. So again, if we go to pie chart, you can do donut hole. You can go down here and do value where it says slice label. Once you do this, you can go ahead and you can make it a little bit smaller. You can then move it over here to the side, and then you're done. Don't forget, when you're done, when you come over here, if you click off of it, you will notice that this one is going to update it. When I X this out, it will then show you what it looks like. When you are done, you will go over here and turn in. Again, don't forget to turn in. If you want to open it back up, it's there for you to go work on. And again, it just might take a second for the charts to show up. That's how you add charts.